Welcome to the Education Scotland podcast. In every episode, we are joined by teachers, professionals and experts to unpack some of the big questions and topics facing the education sector in Scotland. Stay informed with the latest on education in Scotland by subscribing to our podcast.
Hello and welcome to another Education Scotland podcast. I'm Susan Doherty from the Parents and Families team, and we're going to be focusing on attendance today. So we have just concluded a podcast with the head teacher, Patrick, and Janice, who is the deputy head.
Yeah.
And we were listening to all the wonderful things and all the strategies that had been already put in place. But now we're going to talk about a student from year 3 who is going to talk to us a wee bit about her experience. And we also have, we can certainly introduce yourself.
Yeah. So I'm Harry Prescott and I am Principal Teacher Pupil Support in charge of the current third year at Smithycroft.
Perfect. So thank you very much for coming along today to talk to us about this very, very important subject. So I guess I'm just going to really get into it and ask you a wee bit about what attendance was like for you at school.
Okay, so I started in S1 and my attendance was really good. And as S1 went on, I felt like insecure in myself and didn't have many friends in the school. I felt like really lacked in confidence in myself and I didn't like coming to school at all. Over time, this got so bad that I stopped attending school at all. I tried to move to another school, but they didn't have a place for me, so I had to come back to Smithycroft. I'm now in S3 and I've worked really hard to attend a lot and I've been in every day in 2025.
Wow. So going from 0 to every day is, I mean, that's amazing. That is quite a turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you mentioned, not going to school at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder what some of the barriers were that was stopping you from going to school. You kind of mentioned about, maybe anxiety or mental health. Only share the ones that you're comfortable with.
Okay.
But can you tell some of the listeners what some of the barriers were?
Yeah, of course. I had really low confidence in myself and I didn't feel I fitted in at school. I had friends but wasn't really part of a group. I felt anxious that other people would judge me and look at me. I also felt like I didn't really want to speak to other pupils, and then I got scared that when they would try to talk to me, I wouldn't know what to say. The friend that I had at the time hung around with people that I didn't want to speak to or be associated with, so I was often left on my own. I felt I tried to change who I was to try and fit in, and I didn't like that version of who I was.
But that's actually a really strong character trait that you have, that actually you're able to say, well, no, I don't want to change who I am to be myself, I just want to be me. So that's actually a really strong character trait for someone so young.
Thank
So
you.
well done
Thank
for
you.
that. And do you feel a bit more confident in yourself?
Yeah, I feel 100% more
That's
confident
good.
now, yeah.
I think thinking back to obviously the way that things were when we in S1, meetings with yourself and my mum and not attending school at all. We tried so many different things and just it wasn't the right fit at that moment in time. That we got to that point where we were looking at other schools to try and get something that was going to be a better fit for you. That obviously didn't quite work out, and then a significant amount of time and effort put in mostly by yourself to get you to the point where, as you said, attending now every single day, day in, day out. And I think back to the way that you were in S1, to be thinking about you sitting here talking about the things that you went through, the difficulties that you had, that the effect that school was kind of having on your anxiety and your kind of mental health. There is no way that you would have been able to sit and actually record a podcast, which again just shows how far you've come, and I know that we're all really proud of what you've done.
And you should be proud of yourself as well.
Thank
It's
you.
it's really is amazing to see that turnaround. So if I could just go back to the fact that, you were able, or you tried to implement some strategies that just weren't quite hitting.
Mhm.
You know, is that something that you see in a lot of students, and you have to really pivot and be flexible in some of the things that you do?
Absolutely. There's loads and loads of we're really flexible. There's loads of different things that we can try, and it is about finding the right thing for that particular young person. So what worked for you might not necessarily work for someone else, but for me it's about never giving up. So as I said, there were things that we tried that didn't work, that we then came across a bit of like dripping little bits in over time, and gradually increasing, which I know you're going to talk about a little bit more. That was what worked for you. But yeah, absolutely, it's a lot of. It can be disheartening at times where you feel like you're working really hard and not necessarily getting anywhere. But I think this shows that there is a positive outcome at the end of it, just being that kind of relentless and keeping on going.
And if we just go back to yourself and we
Yeah.
think about some of the things that the school or individuals
Mhm.
implemented,
Yeah.
how did they help you to improve your attendance? And is there anything or anyone that made that biggest impact for you?
Yeah, my pastoral care teacher helped me so much. I didn't have any confidence in myself and didn't have any self-belief, but my pastoral care teacher played a big part in helping me get into school and believing in myself. I don't think I'd be anywhere near as far as I've came today without his help. The school also helped me by showing that they cared, like they genuinely care about me. They listened and made me feel heard and wanted. For example, they put in a phased return, as in I only went to school like a couple of periods a day, then gradually adding on until I felt comfortable to coming into school. My mum and friends also helped me attend and motivated me to come to school.
So to touch a wee bit on your mum, obviously you had the meetings with mum. How did your mum help you to do that?
She motivated me and she just never gave up and always made me feel as if I could do it. And yeah.
Your mum sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it with mum is that she's always there, isn't she? Like
Yeah.
the good times, bad times, and I think that's how I would probably describe our relationship as well. Like
Yeah.
we're aware that it's not always going to be, sunshine and roses, but we always work really hard together. And I think that's the big part from mum. Always at the end of a phone, always there at the end of the day to see and to look at and pick things up if they've not been great, but also to celebrate when you are doing really well.
Yeah.
So knowing that the school cared about you as well is probably a really big influence.
Yeah, it helps so much that to know that the school wanted me in and wanted me to be there. It just helped that extra bit to get me in.
It's a big thing. It is a big thing to know
Yeah,
that it is an emotional subject
It is.
though, isn't it? But testament to the school itself for
Absolutely.
making, or the young people are believing that the school actually cares about them as an individual and
Well,
their future.
That's what I think we always kind of talk about, is that it's them that they're the important part. I can have my views and how I want to work and things like that, but it's actually not really about me. It's about the young people that are in your care and trying to find the best thing for them, and I think that's really important to remember.
So we've got you back at school, 100%. Well done again. So now that you're in that space where you're, going to class and you're learning, how important do you think attending school is for your development?
I'm really big on like being good in school and getting good grades. I really want to achieve a lot and experience a lot of different things in life. I now have like a really close group of friends that I love a lot. They make me want to come to school so I can see them every day. We all have really good attendance, so I feel comfortable knowing that they'll be there when I get to school. I now take my friend to school so I know I can't cancel on her and it makes me come in. My friends also really help with my confidence, and I'm now able to do things that I didn't think I'd ever be able to do, like this podcast. There's no way I would have done this in S1. School's been such a big factor in getting my confidence back. Attending school is now my routine, and I'm used to it. I like the routine and I like the predictability with coming in.
Wow, you must just feel amazing
Yeah.
hearing all of
Yeah,
this.
it's a total night and day turnaround from not really feeling like you fitted, from not having those people that were your people, to now being inseparable and like a wee
Yeah.
pack of yous always together. That's just made such a massive difference in your life.
But also starting to think about, you really want to get good grades, you want to start achieving. Have you had, I know you're only in S3, but have you had any thoughts about, how you'll progress? Like, is there any jobs or careers or anything that you're now thinking about, or are you just solely focused on the grades at the moment?
I think I'm focused on getting good grades, but like the best grades that I can get, so I can get a good job in the future. And
That's the best way to look at it.
Just keeping your options open.
Keep your
Yeah.
options open, because we don't know what it might all be AI in the future. It might all be working, for robots or something. I don't know, but keeping your options open, I think, is really smart.
thank you.
Very level-headed.
And in terms of if you look back, so you look back at S1 and just what was happening then, through to the support you got from the school, feeling cared for, feeling loved, but your mum's obviously on board, and now you're like 100% focused on grades. You've got a real kind of get-go attitude for your future. There are people, young people just now, that are already in that space that you were in S1. So what kind of advice would you give to those young people who are facing those issues that you did then?
If you don't fit in with people, they aren't the right people for you. Find people that you feel comfortable with and things will get easier. Don't focus on what people think of you now. Focus on what life will be like in the future if you do attend school.
That's some wise words, no?
Very, very wise. I think it's really important that the fact that we're sharing a little bit of success here, because I think if you think back probably to S1, knowing that this was possible would have made things probably seem a little less scary and a little bit easier, knowing that there was a possibility of, school becoming something that actually you really quite enjoy and that you feel comfortable coming into. So I think what you've said there is pretty spot on.
And I think it is important for those young people who are in that space just now, just to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Definitely.
There's options, there's opportunities, because we've seen it in action. Is there anything else you think you would want to say to maybe not just the students but staff as well about, your experience and any key messages that you think they might want to take away from this?
It might seem cheesy, but honestly, never give up. Like, it's not all doom and gloom. It will turn out okay if you just try and your hardest.
Yeah.
I think you've again said the right thing there. I think you need to put yourself out there in the first place for there to be any form of success, and that's the hard bit. If you can kind of get over that initial hurdles, then things do become easier as you go through.
And it's not cheesy. We always think that when we're talking about emotions or we're talking about achieving or aspirations, we always say, oh, there might be a wee bit. It's not. We need to be more American about that. They're very about their emotions and feelings.
I think remembering obviously for yourself, like there was a period of time where I know that I had this conversation with your mum and with you that we were thinking we might not ever get you back and that we might be looking at alternative forms of education, and I know we were really worried that you might be someone that isn't likely to get any kind of good grades and things like that. And we're now thinking, we were talking, have a conversation about potentially doing law or or someone who's a bit of a high flyer and that we're really hopeful will go on and achieve really, really well. I think it's important for you to remember how much you've put into that and actually how hard you've worked and how far you've come.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you for coming in today and sharing your story, because I know that it will have an impact on some of the young people who are facing similar circumstances as yourself. So know that you're going to make a difference in other people's lives. So that's huge. But well done for what you've put into this process as well, because it couldn't have been easy at times, but you worked hard and you never gave up.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for coming, and yourself, because you
No
have quite a
problem.
challenging jobs at times, because I can see that you care.
Absolutely.
You were getting emotional at some of the things that you were hearing of your experience. So yeah, well done you as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to thank the listeners, and we will end the podcast here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Don't forget to subscribe for notification of when a new episode is published. If there is a topic you would like to hear featured on this podcast, get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us on our social media channels for all the latest news from Education Scotland. Education Scotland is a Scottish Government executive agency charged with supporting quality and improvement in Scottish education.